Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Syami. My ticket number 1712939. Okay, for this video, I'm going to explain about the one of internet vulnerability, which is on the DNS part, where it says one of the vulnerability on DNS is called DNS spoofing. Okay, before I explain about the internet, the DNS spoofing, so we must know what is DNS. So we know that DNS is an acronym. The long name is domain name server, which is where it give names to IP address of a website, where in computer, on the what you call the computer organization or architecture, they communicate with each other using numbers, i.e. like IP addresses. So but in our life, human norm to communicate using words. So in order to integrate within the computer and also the human us, so we have the server called domain name server, where this server will be a medium to integrate between us user and also the computer, where for example, if we create or we want to search, so for example google.com, so we search using the name, which is google.com. But if we want to talk to the computer doesn't know what is google.com, but they know the IP address. So the function of the DNS as the intermediary, where it translates from the word google.com to an IP address that the google.com own, and so after that the DNS will will pass the IP address to our computer, computer, where now our web page can load the what you call the web page google.com. So that's basically of the DNS, where it's like a what you call phone book. Another analogy is like a phone book, where we don't search the number first, we search what the name of the person or the company that we want to call, and we find the number. So exactly same as the DNS server. So now let's go into let's go into a little bit part of DNS spoofing, where it is one of vulnerability of the DNS. Okay, for one of the vulnerability of the DNS is called DNS spoofing, or the other name also called DNS cache poisoning, where this vulnerability is where attackers alter DNS record, where they try to redirect online traffic to a fraud or a fake web page, where the attacker want the victim to serve to. So basically there are two ways that the attacker can do. First is a man-in-the-middle attack, where they intercept between the client and also the server, the DNS server. The client, they intercept the connection or the communication between the two, where it redirect the connection of the client to their server, where it thinks that it make the computer of the client think that the attacker computer is the DNS server, where it also fake the DNS server, where whether which the attacker the IP address of the attacker is the IP address of the client that want to make a request. So when the attacker manage to sneak or to spoof the communication, so before the attacker can redirect the client or the victim to their own web page, where it can cause another image. Another of the one of the method of the attack is called DNS server compromise, where as the name said, the attacker attack the DNS server and compromise it and take control of the DNS server, and so they can easily change or redirect any victim that connected to the compromised DNS server to their own website or their own web page, where maybe can go to phishing website, or maybe can go to malicious website. So therefore these two methods attacker can do when attacking or when doing this domain DNS spoofing or DNS catchy versioning. So basically that's all of the DNS vulnerability that I explained. So thank you for listening.